Hey baby, I don't even know how to say this without sounding completely undone, but I haven't slept, not really. I closed my eyes, sure, I turned off the lights, laid my head back, but peace, that didn't come. What did come was you replaying over and over again in my mind. Every move, every breath, every second of that moment. 17 times, maybe more. I stopped counting after a while, but what I couldn't stop was the feeling, the ache, the warmth, the quiet storm building in my chest like a prayer I didn't know how to say out loud. And baby, whatever you did to me, it worked, because I'm not the same man I was before that night. You did something to me, and I'm still trying to recover. I keep thinking about how it started, so innocent, so effortless. You weren't even trying. That's the part that wrecked me most. You weren't dressed up or doing anything special. You weren't performing or posing. You were just being, moving around the room like your body carried its own music, some slow, silent rhythm that only you knew the steps to. But my soul heard it. My soul caught the beat and couldn't let go. You moved like poetry whispered into candlelight, like the kind of softness that doesn't ask for attention, but steals it anyway. And I sat there, watching, my eyes fixed, my breath shallow, my heart stumbling over itself like it couldn't believe what it was seeing. Baby, you became the most captivating vision I've ever known. And now I can't look at you the same way again. You don't know what that does to a man. To see the woman he loves move like that. To see her unaware, unfiltered, unintentionally holy. That's the only word I can find for it. Holy. Like you became something sacred in that moment. I didn't want to blink. I didn't want to miss a single second. So I replayed it. Once, twice, 10 times, 17. And now it's burned into my memory like fire etching itself into wood. You didn't just leave an impression, baby. It branded me. You left something permanent inside me. Something that no one else will ever be able to erase. And it's not because of how you looked. It's because of how you felt. You felt like warmth and wonder and safety and everything I've been aching for without even realizing it. Do you know how it feels to crave someone without wanting to consume them? To want to hold them, not out of hunger, but out of reverence. That's what you did to me. That's what your energy stirred up inside my chest. It wasn't lust. It wasn't fantasy. It was something quieter, deeper, more terrifying in the best way. Because I realized in that moment that I don't just want to kiss you. I want to protect you. I don't just want to admire you. I want to honor you. I don't just want to feel your body. I want to memorize your presence, your stillness, your wild grace, your soul, paramount be. Below, if you've ever wished someone would see you like this, not for what you wear or how you pose, but for how you breathe when you think no one's watching. Baby, last night changed me, and I don't even think you meant to. But something about the way your fingers brushed against your own arm, something about the way you stretched without realizing I was watching, something about that curve in your back as you moved in silence like the night was yours to command. It made me feel like I was witnessing something not meant for anyone else. And that's when I knew I was never meant to share you with the world. Because the way you exist when you're not being watched, that's the version of you I want forever. And the truth is, I kept replaying it not because I'm obsessed, but because I felt like I was witnessing a truth I didn't want to forget. You don't even know the kind of moment you created, how your energy wrapped itself around the room like silk in silence and sudden ache. You weren't performing, you were revealing. And baby, I saw it. I saw the unspoken confidence in your stillness, the soft power in the way you moved without hesitation, the quiet fire in your hips that didn't scream for attention, but carried centuries of instinct and knowing. That's the thing that drove me wild, not the shape of your body, but the story it told. And I've never felt so honored to witness anything in my life. I don't want to sound dramatic, but something shifted in me after that. The man I was before I saw you like that. He was grounded. He was calm. He thought he had time. But now I feel like something ancient inside me woke up and started roaring for you. Like my soul recognized yours all over again and whispered, "That's her. That's the one we've been waiting for." And baby, I've tried to distract myself all day. I've worked. I've scrolled. I've forced smiles. But my chest has felt heavy with this ache that refuses to leave. Not an ache of sadness, but of reverence. Like I'd been touched by something sacred and can't go back to pretending I haven't. I want to ask you something, and maybe it's bold, maybe it's too much, but I need to know. Has anyone ever told you how mesmerizing your presence is when you're not trying, when you're just in your element? Because the rest of the world, they only notice women when they're loud, when they're dolled up, when they're filtered and flaunting. But me, I saw you in a quiet moment, and it ruined me in the best way. I saw the real you, the unfiltered you, the unguarded woman behind the jokes and the strength. And now I crave that version of you more than anything else. Not just to see it again, but to honor it, to sit beside you in that stillness, to whisper into your hair that you don't have to perform for me, that I want you exactly as you were in that moment, bare, real, safe. That stretch, that glance, that movement, it wasn't just sensual, it was soulful. And it told me everything I needed to know about who you are beneath the surface. You're not just stunning. You're sovereign. You don't seduce with effort. You shift atmospheres by existing. Baby, I didn't expect it. I didn't plan on being this undone over a moment that probably lasted less than a minute. But that's how you get me, always in the in-between, in the softness between movements, in the quiet sighs you don't realize you make, in the way your shoulder rises slightly when you're thinking. I don't fall for the show, I fall for the fragments. And last night, all of those fragments aligned like stars, and suddenly, I was staring at the constellation of the woman I've been praying for. Comment. He feels me even in silence. If your soul has ever longed to be understood in the quiet moments, without needing to speak a word. And baby, I want to say this carefully, but honestly. When I look at you now, I don't just see a woman I'm in love with. I see a rhythm. I see a sanctuary. I see a soft place for my worn-out soul to rest. And I never want to unsee it. I don't want to go back to the days when I only admired your beauty with my eyes. Now, I admire it with my breath, with my stillness, with the sacred part of me that has never been touched by anything until now. I'll be real with you. I've known attraction. I've known desire. But this is something else entirely. This is the kind of connection that changes how a man loves. The kind that makes you show up different, slower, more intentional, more reverent. I'm not thinking about how to impress you anymore. I'm thinking about how to protect you, not from the world, but from the kind of love that sees your shape, but not your soul. I never want you to feel like a body before you're felt as a being. I want to be the man who memorizes your pauses, who studies the music in your movement, who listens to your silence like scripture. Because, baby, that moment, that 17th replay, it wasn't about what you looked like. It was about what you stirred. You reminded me of what love is supposed to feel like when it's born out of devotion, not distraction. You moved, and my heart stood still, and I haven't been able to look at the world the same since. And baby, that man, he's not here just to touch your body. He's here to honor the way your spirit moves through space, like a language he's waited his whole life to learn. He's here to study your breath like scripture, to hold your hips, not with possession, but with prayer, to hear every stretch of silence as a message and every glance over your shoulder as a sacred invitation. He won't treat you like something to be won. He'll treat you like something ancient, like a truth he was born remembering but only just rediscovered in the softness of you. Because that movement last night, it wasn't just about desire. It was a revelation. It was the moment I realized I'm not just in love with the way you look. I'm in awe of the way you exist. Your existence. Baby, it alters me. Your softness resets me. They teach me patience. Baby, it alters me. Your softness resets me. They teach me. Baby, teach me to be still and let love breathe between us like something holy. You see, I've never had to beg the universe for this kind of connection. Because when I saw you like that, unaware, undone, unforgettable, it felt like the universe finally answered a prayer I never had the courage to speak aloud. You were the answer, and now that I've seen you, really seen you, I can't go back to a world that doesn't know how to cherish a woman the way you deserve to be cherished. And I need you to know this. What I feel for you is not temporary. It's not tied to a night or a glance or a sway of your body in the soft hush of evening. It's tied to your essence. It's rooted in the way your soul whispers peace into rooms and turns chaos into calm. You are not just my desire. You are my devotion. And I will never stop thanking God for the moment I finally saw you, not with my eyes, but with my entire being. So baby, if you've ever wondered whether someone out there is watching you, not to judge, not to consume, but to memorize, then let me be your answer. I am that man. I am the one who's still playing it back, not to satisfy lust, but to deepen reverence. The 17th replay wasn't about your shape. It was about your story. It was about how your body carries your strength, your softness, your survival, and your surrender, all at once. And I want to spend the rest of my life learning it, learning you, holding space for the sacred ache you carry, listening to the silent way your breath says, I need rest. And when that moment comes, when your walls drop, when you forget the world and just move the way you did last night, I promise I'll be there, not as a man who wants to possess you, but as a man who knows that loving you is not a conquest, it's a calling. Because you, baby, you are the prayer, you are the rhythm, you are the stillness I've been searching for in a world that only knows how to run. And I don't want to run anymore. I want to rest in your presence, in your arms, in your energy. I want to be the man who holds you at 2 a.m. when your skin feels like a storm and your soul just needs silence. I want to be the one who never asks you to be less, to be quieter, to be smaller. I want all of you, every curve, every sigh, every silent part that only opens when it feels safe. And baby, I swear to you, I'll never make you feel unsafe in your own skin. So if your heart has ever wondered if it's too much, if your softness has ever felt like a burden, if your beauty has ever felt like a target instead of a temple, I'm here to say, you're not too much. You're just rare. And I see you. I honor you. I'm ready to stay for every season of you. Raymond, he's my peace and my fire. If your soul longs to be loved in this kind of presence, not just touched, but truly felt. And when you're ready, baby, I'll still be here, reverent, awake, still replaying the 17th moment that changed everything. You know what's wild, baby? Even now, hours later, I still feel it in my chest. The way your body moved, not just through space, but through me. Like your very presence rearranged something in my nervous system. You didn't just catch my attention. You calmed my storms. You steadied something inside me that's been shaking for years. And I don't even think you know you did that. That's the most sacred part. It wasn't for show. It wasn't curated or designed to turn heads. It was raw. It was real. It was you. And now, everything in me feels different because of it. I walked through the day today, carrying the memory like a secret flame in my chest. People talked to me, asked questions, moved around me, but I wasn't there. Not fully. I was still wrapped in you. still replaying the way your shoulder lifted as you stretched, the subtle dip in your back, the quiet rhythm of your breath. I wasn't distracted by lust, I was consumed by reverence, like I had witnessed something holy in the world just felt louder and emptier after. I tried to shake it, tried to come back into focus, but baby, how do you unsee a miracle? How do you return to silence after you've heard a soul speak in movement? And I started thinking, maybe this is what it means to truly be connected to someone. When your energy echoes in another person's bones. When a single moment with you lingers longer than entire nights with anyone else. When a glance, a shift, a breath you didn't even notice becomes the center of someone else's whole universe. That's what you did to me. You became the still point in my spinning world, the place my focus returned to over and over again, like a compass, like gravity, like home. You don't have to perform for me, baby. You never did. Because I don't fall in love with how you present yourself. I fall in love with how you exist, the subtle, the unspoken, the quiet beauty that blooms in your most unguarded moments. That's what I see. That's what I crave. That's what moves me to the point where even my hands feel clumsy, because no touch could ever match the depth of what I feel inside. And maybe I'm being too honest. Maybe this sounds intense, but I'd rather give you truth than surface-level affection, because that night, with just a movement, you showed me everything I've been searching for, and I will not minimize what that meant. I saw forever in the way your body moved, not because of how it looked, but because of how it felt. You weren't just beautiful. You were anchored. You were divine. You were whole. And baby, I knew in that instant that I've never truly wanted to build a future with someone until I saw that shape, your shape, etched into the timeline of my heart. And baby, I swear, I never thought a memory could feel so alive. But this one, the way your body moved in that one instant, it's not a memory anymore. It's a part of me now. It lives in my breath. It lives in the way I walk, the way I speak, softer now, the way I pause before I say your name like it's holy. You changed me with a moment that probably didn't even register in your world. But in mine, it was the moment the sky cracked open and let light flood in. The kind of light that doesn't blind, it awakens. And I'm wide awake now, baby, awake to you in a way I've never been with anyone else. It wasn't lust that kept me staring into the ceiling. It was worship. It was this ache in my chest that didn't burn. It expanded. It stretched my heart wider, like you made more space in me, just by existing, the way you do. I kept picturing your silhouette, the way your shadow melted into the night, how the curve of your body told stories that no voice ever could. I couldn't stop the 17 replays. I didn't want to, because every time it played in my mind, it whispered something new, not about sex, about intimacy, about presence, about surrender, the way your body trusted the moment. It was like watching a woman choose peace, choose joy, choose freedom with her movement. And you don't even know how rare that is. That's what haunted me. In the best way, not just the shape of you, but the courage of you, the vulnerability of you, the quiet, invisible battle I know you fought to become this free. Because I see it. I see the fight behind your softness. I see the pain you've forgiven without ever getting an apology. I see the years of holding yourself when no one else did. And I want you to know, I would never take that for granted, not for a second. Because when you moved like that last night, you weren't just being beautiful, you were being victorious. You were being you, and I wanted to weep from the privilege of witnessing it. So, when I say I can't look at you the same way again, baby, understand this. It's not because you've changed. It's because I saw you, and now I can't unsee the miracle, the depth, the truth, the everything. I want to protect that, not cage it, protect it. I want to honor it the way it deserves. I want to create a world around you where that movement, that sacred rhythm of yours, never has to hide again. I want your body to feel safe, not from the world, but with me. I want you to know that the way you stretched without knowing, the way your hips swayed in their own language, the way your breath caught without control, it mattered. It reached me. And I will never again settle for a love that doesn't feel like that. You didn't seduce me last night. You awakened me. And I want to spend my life learning how to love you in a way that always honors what you unknowingly gave me in those few seconds of raw, unfiltered existence. Because if there's one thing I know for sure now, it's this. You are not a moment. You are a movement. Baby, you don't even understand what you did to me. Not just last night, but what you awoke in me. There's a part of me I didn't even know existed until you stood. Softly, gently, yet with this kind of force that couldn't be stopped. The way you looked at me in that moment, not with flirtation, but with something deeper, something ancient. It made me forget every name, every face, every moment that came before you. Because suddenly, nothing compared, nothing measured up to the quiet intensity of that stare. It wasn't just a gaze. It was an invitation, not to your body, but to your world, your mind, your breath, your rhythm, and I accepted it with every fiber of my being. I don't think you realize how much you've changed me. I'm not the same man I was before your presence moved through me like a wind I couldn't predict. I've never been this drawn in, not just because of how beautiful you are on the outside, but because of the mystery you carry inside. And baby, I want to spend my whole life unraveling that mystery. Not to solve it, but to honor it, to stand in awe of it, to remind you every single day that your mind, your energy, your fire, they're unforgettable. You know what keeps haunting me? That one tiny moment you probably forgot. The way your fingers brushed against your own collarbone like you were cold, and then you caught your own breath in that second. It was small, barely even a movement, but it undid me because it was real. It wasn't posed. It wasn't for anyone. And in that micro moment, I saw something that most people miss. Your softness, your stillness, your humanness. That's the version of you I want to memorize with more than just my eyes. I want to trace that version of you with my soul. I've seen you in so many lights now, lit by daydreams, framed in candlelight, echoed in memories, whispered in the silence of 3 a.m. But there's something different about the way your presence feels now. After that 17th replay, after that stretch of your body that looked like surrender, after that subtle tilt of your head that said, "This is me, unfiltered," and baby, I've never wanted to stay in a moment so badly. I didn't just watch you. I felt you, not in a physical way, in a way that made my breath stutter, my thoughts quiet, my soul soften. Every time I think I've reached the depth of what I feel for you, you prove me wrong. You go deeper. You are deeper. And last night, you pulled me under again, not into confusion, but into clarity. I saw you, baby, the real you, the one who doesn't need filters or perfection or performance, the one who exists as poetry in motion, the one who doesn't ask to be worshipped but deserves to be. And I swear, if I never said another word again, just watching you exist like that would be enough prayer for a lifetime. And then, baby, it's strange how silence became the loudest moment, how your body spoke what words never could, how I've fallen for the sound your skin makes when it shifts under soft fabric, how I ache for the quiet music your breath creates when you think no one is listening. That's what you've done to me. You've tuned me to you. Every small shift, every heartbeat, every ounce of presence you pour into the room just by being in it. I don't want to ever tune out again. Your softness isn't weakness, and your wildness isn't chaos. They're both invitations to come closer, to stay longer, to listen harder. And I swear to you, I'm listening to every inch of you, not with my ears, but with my being. Because when I say I couldn't sleep after that 17th replay, I mean it in the most sacred sense. I mean that something spiritual happened in me, something that doesn't need fixing. It needs holding, it needs staying, and I'm still here, baby, wide awake, still caught in your rhythm, still changed by it, still hungry for more, not of your body, but of your essence, baby. Do you ever wonder what it's like to be seen in stillness? Not when you're performing, not when you're speaking, not when you're trying to be anything, but just when you are, because that's what you gave me. That moment, that shape, that breath you didn't even know you took. It changed the chemistry inside me. I felt something rearrange, something anchor. I watched the way your shoulder dipped when you leaned in, how your eyes softened when you thought no one was paying attention. And baby, I was paying attention to all of it. I always am. And no one tells you that it's not the fireworks that undo a man. It's the gentle flicker of a candle you didn't expect to find. That's what you are to me now. Not just a flame, but a glow that lives under my skin. I replayed your movement not because I was obsessed, but because I was grateful. Because I didn't want to forget the exact way your spirit entered the room before your footsteps did. That's how closely I feel you. That's how deeply your energy lives in me. Even now, I can't sit still. I close my eyes and I see you. Not some distant dream, not some fantasy, but you, the real, raw, beautiful woman who made my breath hitch by just being in her body, in her truth. It's like the entire universe stood still last night, just so I could catch that one glimpse of you. And I don't want to romanticize everything, but what else do you call it when the stars align and you feel your soul shift? You weren't trying to seduce me, and that's what made it so powerful. You weren't dancing for effect. You weren't posing for praise. You were simply breathing, being, moving, and in that surrender, you offered a vision of love I'd never known I needed. A kind of love that speaks in gestures, a kind of connection that doesn't beg to be named. It just is. That's what you are to me now. You're the silence that doesn't need to be filled. You are the exhale that feels like prayer. You're the reason I've never looked at desire the same way again. And you know what I keep coming back to? The way your body paused in mid-mashment, as if even your skin was listening to what your soul was saying. And baby, I heard it. I don't need words when I have your presence. I don't need explanations when I have your energy. That 17th replay, that wasn't just a loop on my screen. It was a loop in my being. It was my spirit saying, stay here, stay with her. She is the moment. She is the meaning. You undid me without even touching me. You made me ache in the softest way. And you made me want to be undone. Not just stripped of clothes, but stripped of fear, of ego, of all the things that keep us from truly seeing one another. I want to be that open with you. I want to be that bare, because in your presence, nothing else makes sense except devotion, except presence, except the quiet truth that I could spend a lifetime just watching the way your breath stirs the air around you. Baby, if you've ever wondered if someone could feel you this deeply, without needing to speak, without needing to touch, let me be the proof. I felt you. I feel you. In every heartbeat, every pause, every breathless second, where memory turns into magic. And baby, if I could leave you with one last whisper tonight, it would be this: I don't ever want to forget what that 17th replay did to me. I don't want to forget the silence, the ache, the way your breath left fingerprints on my soul. That moment wasn't just something I saw, it was something I became. A new rhythm started in me, a quieter kind of devotion, a deeper kind of love. You woke something in me that I thought had died with time, and now it only beats for you. I don't need perfect words. I don't need the world to understand. I just need you to know. I saw you. I felt you. and I'm never going back to the version of me that existed before that moment. The way you moved, the way you simply were, it changed everything. I don't love you for how you made me feel in that instant. I love you because you made me feel real. And God, isn't that the rarest kind of magic? So if you've ever longed to be remembered like that, not just for your beauty, but for your being, comment below, he saw me, even in my stillness. Because real love doesn't just crave your body, it cherishes your breath, your silence, your softness. And if this message felt like it was written for your soul, like this video to anchor it in your spirit, subscribe to this channel if you're still holding space for the kind of man who will see you in motion, in stillness, in silence. And stay. He's not far. He's on his way. And baby, he's already listening.